everybody, and welcome back. You guys are gonna have to please excuse my notepad, but from time to time I'm gonna pop in. I'm just gonna try and drop some of the gems, some of the things that I've learned, that I've picked up, and just tell, what I've gone through up to this point and getting to where I am in the barbering career. So it's been about a year since I started. Last March I got started. I said I wanted to go to barber school. I wanted to go ahead and get everything done, completed and taken care of. And what I've learned up to this point is the fact that I had to put everything in perspective first. I've broken this down into two parts. Don't mind my handwriting, I'm gonna decipher it. I've broken it down into two parts. I've broken it down into the what and the how. So what, I had to figure out what business I wanted, what it looked like. So I had to come up with the ideal picture, and I had 3 points that were really important to me. So I wanted, number one, for the business to be legal, safe, and legitimate. This is a barbering business and a media company. Those two coincide, they help each other, they both leverage each other and create value for one another. I'm sure you can see how that could happen with using the media to promote as marketing, advertising material, and then also using that to leverage other relationships, work with other media content creators to leverage in the industry and who aren't also people who are not in the industry. And then also, number two is creating that valuable content. So we want to create valuable content that's going to be easy to digest. This is a little bit more informal. This is just me sitting down, sharing some of the things that I've come across. And then also knowing that I don't want to be stuck behind the chair my whole life. I know that I'm going to have to invest. We're going to have to put a portion of what we earn aside so that we don't have to work our whole lifetime. So we don't want to be stuck behind the chair. Some people, I don't know that people choose to be stuck behind the chair if they didn't know ahead of time that if they just cut and spend what they earn, and that's the same with any business, earning as an employee, then you won't be able to then step away. So some people invest for retirement. We're going to be a little bit more aggressive with the investment up front, and the first goal that I have is for passive income. That's my first passive income goal, is $100,000 a year, which I feel personally I can use as a livable wage. And then in order to make these things come true, the what, I had to figure out the how. So my linear guideline, that's my linear checklist to figuring out what it is that I need to do. So number one, what I would recommend, what worked for me, who was getting started. So number one, I want to get the ball rolling. We want to get that momentum built up to actually get started with working with clients. So we want to start working with clients. We want to get as many pictures as we can. We want to get as much content created as we can so that we have things to choose from. We have quality content. We have people seeing you. You have visibility, knowing that you're actually cutting, that you can actually provide some type of value for your clients. The next thing we did is figure out how to do our taxes. And I put this before licensure and doing our legal affairs. Number one, because you'll need the money set aside to do the taxes. So one, we'll have tax deductions, and we'll also have taxes that you need to pay. So the school, I went to business school, where I learned things there about taxes, but it wasn't until I needed to actually be in it, until I was operating, until I was working in a business, that I needed to understand it in depth. I needed to have intimate knowledge of taxes, of my taxes, need to know where the dollar is going and being able to follow that. So you have write-offs, you have deductions, and you also have taxes that you need to pay. I'm not a tax advisor, so I would suggest working with a tax professional, or also what helped me was reading the forms on the .gov websites. So the irs.gov. So you have different, you have different forms that you need to fill out. So you got your 1099s, you got your Schedule C forms, you have different forms that you should go onto the website and look at, and those forms will tell you, they actually give you a pretty good outline of the business or what that should look like. And it'll help you keep in perspective all the different things that you need to do for a legitimate business to operate, make money, and what percentages people typically pay. You can look that up. You can see those on the different websites and see how much you might need to put into marketing. So that's the number one example. People don't always think about marketing. They know that, yeah, you've got word of mouth, you've got typical marketing you can post on social media, but you want to figure out how to get the most out of every piece of marketing that you put forth. You want to get the most in-depth relationships with your clients, and you want to also be able to get the most out of any post, any picture you post, any video you post, anything that you're going to promote. If you're going to rent a billboard, things like that, you have to think as a business as well as a service provider. The license I put next after the tax section, or we also got our licensing. So I had to figure out if I wanted to go to barber school, if I was going to search for somebody who could help with an apprenticeship. And then after either of those, I knew that I'd have to take the state board exams. So I learned about, what we had to do to take the state board exams, what requirements, how much barber school will cost. Around here, that was typically somewhere between $9,000 and $20,000 to go to barber school. That ended up being the option that I chose. And then the last bullet I have on here, I know I mentioned it before with the tax forms, but marketing and advertising. So for the media company, which is this YouTube channel, and also for me personally as a service provider, as a barber. So these are some of the things that I learned. These are some of the things that I try to keep top of mind. So if there's anything that you feel that I could also add, please leave it in the comments. Let me know what else I need to be on top of. Also, let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if there's anything that you didn't think of that I may have mentioned on my little list. But once again, I appreciate it. This is just me sitting down with you really quickly with my notebook. I'll come back with some more things that have some value, that were valuable to me, that I want to share. So once again, check in, please like, subscribe. Let me know how I can help. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like me to go over with everybody. So I appreciate it again, and I'll talk to you soon. All right.